Welcome to the high school edition of Football Friday, brought to you in part by Josh Houston and Associates, one source, one company. By the Metro Nashville Police Department. Apply today at mnpd.com. By Southern Trophy House. Visit their showroom at 2705 Nolensville Pike. And by Star Physical Therapy, committed to serve. Now let's head to the gridiron with George Plaster and Billy Derrick, the high school edition of Football Friday. And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into what is just a beautiful setting for what we're trying to do here. It is Acuff Hall on the campus of Lipscomb Academy. You're going to see a shot of it here in just a second. I saw this hall for the first time 2 days ago, and the first thing I thought of was this is the Ryman Auditorium. It's got so much of the Ryman in it. Billy, can we get a shot of what it looks like out there? By the way, y'all are way too quiet. Make some noise. We will try this a different way as the students keep filing in here at the beginning. This is really going to be fun for me. Kevin Mawai, if I was to do a poll of the Nashville sports media that have covered the Titans like I have from the day they got here, this would be one of the 2 or 3 most respected Titans when it came to dealing with the media. Number one, he was always honest with us. He gave us great answers. And when he didn't know something, he'd just say, I don't know, can't answer it. So let's see if you all can really get loud and welcome your head coach, Kevin Mawai. Wow.
What a great crowd.
Oh, this is awesome. This is terrific. And
they're only cheering because they're not in study hall right now.
That's all this is. You all do not have us fooled with that part of it. But welcome back to Nashville.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back. I've been here since February 1st was my first day on campus as the head coach. And when we had the opportunity to come here, it was looking around and opportunities. And I knew that after 2 years coaching in the NFL, it's not where I wanted to go with the rest of my career. And this opportunity opened up and got to come back down here and coach with a great friend of mine, Grant Williams, who him and I played in Seattle way back in the 90s together, and got to build my staff. And I got Kenny Amato, former Titan, and Ryan Fowler, former Titan, on my staff. But we loved living in Middle Tennessee when we were here the first time around and knew that this would be a great place for us.
Is the allure of high school that you can really make more of a difference at this level than anywhere else?
Having been at the college level and the pro level, I do know that you have a greater impact at the high school level. I had the most fun I ever had was the 1 year I coached at Montgomeryville Academy, and then 2 years I coached at junior high football in Louisiana. And knowing that the kids, they respect you for what you did, the stories that you have to tell, but just hopefully instill some wisdom or insight or whatever, and hopefully be a big influence and a mentor to a lot of these kids that you get to be around.
Has anything particularly surprised you about the high school level?
No, I think the emphasis on recruiting is a lot greater than what it ever has been. Rather than just go play the game for fun, everybody's trying to get the scholarships, and that's a lot different than when I grew up. And in the years that I was at ASU and recruited high school kids, it's always about the emphasis is get scholarships. But I think when you have fun, you play the game and you do it the way you're supposed to be and you play well, then the scholarships come. I don't think you chase scholarships. I think your performance brings you scholarships. And that's just something, it's an education thing that you do with the kids. We got a lot of kids in our program here that are highly recruited, and many of them have multiple offers. And our job is to help them walk through that recruiting process, but understand that it's how you play on the field that gets you recruited, not just showing up at games and collecting lanyards.
Now, I think I'm right about this. The Titans have next weekend a reunion weekend for a lot of you all. And from what I hear, they really roll out the red carpet. Amy has done a good job. This has been a priority to her. Give me a couple of people you really want to see.
Well, fortunately, I came back last year. I was with the Colts staff, and it happened to be reunion weekend. So I got to go to the reception the night before the game, and I got to hang out with Eugene Amano, Leroy Harris, and then I saw Kenny Amato and several other players. But to be around my O-line guys, Michael Roos will be here. I know Eugene will be back in there. Ahmad Hall hopefully will show up. Chris Johnson, Lindell White, a lot of those guys, Kerry Collins, guys that I've played with and with that 4-year stretch. We kind of tend to stick together, at least stay in touch with one another over the years. And so I'm looking forward to the greatest thing for me when I came back last year. They all knew I was coaching with the Colts. And so they were like, come out early after halftime, we'll say hey to you. And as I came out, like 20 of my teammates were like facing my sideline, waiting for me to come out as opposed to leaving the home tunnel. And that was pretty special. And that's what you miss when you're in the coaching ranks. You don't have the opportunity to go back and see your old teammates and stuff. So that was cool.
You cannot put a price tag on that.
Not at all. Not at all. And the relationships you build in the locker room, whether it be high school, college, or the pros, are the ones you live with on a regular basis, and the ones you are lifelong friends. Just called a high school teammate of mine this morning. It was his 53rd birthday. He's a high school coach. He's my best friend in high school. And so those relationships go well beyond the playing fields and long, long after you're done playing football.
Now, the truth of it is, he and I could talk football from now till midnight, and we probably wouldn't cover it all. This is not fair for me to just totally dominate it with Titans stuff. Tell me about your football team.
Well, we got a talented team. I think right now we're a little disappointed in what our record is. We have some great talent here. We opened up with a very strong schedule. We moved up from Division II AA to Division II AAA, which we're now seeing a lot of our families and players are understanding it's a lot more competitive than the AA. The biggest game and the most challenging rival they've had over the last 2 years has been Christ Pres Academy, where Engel Martin is the head coach, and that was the team to beat, and that's been the rival here for the last 3 or 4 years. But now we move up. You're playing against Baylor, McCallie, BAs tonight. It's a homecoming night for us, and so the talent is much greater. Outside of that, we play now the state schedule. We took IMG the first week of the season, and we played well into the third quarter. We went down to Saraland, Alabama, played number 1 team from Alabama, who's now ranked top 25 in the country, and that was a 1-point game in overtime. And then Baylor, we took them to a 1-point game. So we're there. We have the talent and the ability, and our guys know that. And our message is just do your job and play the best you can, and not kill yourselves with penalties and turnovers. And then we have an opportunity to win games. So a lot of great talent. Like I said, many guys in both the 24 class and 25 class are holding multiple offers. We got Caleb Beasley, who is a Tennessee commit, as is Edwin Spillman, and then Dylan Lorick is committed to ECU, and we got others, Bo Smith and Jackson Kilberg, and some other guys in that senior class are holding offers right now, and let's hope the things work out for them, and we finish up the season strong.
Years ago, I had hired Trent Dilfer to do a radio gig on 102.5. We would do every Tuesday after his Monday Night Football stuff. Did you talk to him much when you were thinking about taking this?
Nope, not one bit. I knew the guy that I trusted, and then it's been a very good friend of mine over the years is Grant Williams. He was on staff with Trent for 3 years, and he's the one I talked to. He's the one who encouraged me to come after this job, and I think he's the one who put my name in the hat. But I didn't have to talk to Trent. I have a lifelong relationship with Grant Williams, and anything he tells me, I trust him. And he just felt that we would be a great fit, him and I on the same staff, but me for this school. And that's what led me to come here. A lot of prayer about it and wanting to be where God wants me, and knowing that Lipscomb Academy is a Christian faith-based community. And after sitting down with Brad Schultz and Jake House and President McQueen, I just felt like it was a really good fit. And I think, and hopefully, beyond the record where we're at right now, my goal and the vision is to bring the football part of it, to understand that we're a part of a bigger community. And as a whole, when you're playing the scholastic sports, it's a little bit different. It's not like college and we have our own entity. We're a part of a much bigger community. And that's what part of my goal and my mission of this program is, to get them to understand it's not just about football. It's about encompassing the whole scholastic experience.
You want to hear your band for a second?
Sure, why not?
Okay, they've been very patient. The Mustang Pep Band is ready to rock and roll. Hey, y'all applaud them. Okay, are we to the point of questions out of the audience? Let's do it. Uh, so apparently they know who they are. The microphone is right up here. So whoever is going in whatever order, let's do it.
Everybody's getting nervous.
Yeah, I think there were some excited people until they realized there could be repercussions.
I told my guys my whistle doesn't break, so just know that.
Okay, who's first? You're first? Okay, I want you to get that mic close where they can hear you.
Okay.
What's your name?
I'm Evie.
Nice.
My question is, will LSU beat Alabama this year?
No doubt. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Of course it will. Go Tigers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Wow, that one
Ask Dr. Ackerman. She knows.
that one didn't take long, did it?
No.
Okay, who's next?
They'd beat Tennessee, too, if we had to play against them this year. Just saying. Wade
Just
Smith.
thought you'd throw that in
Well,
there.
Wade Smith's out here somewhere. He's a diehard Orange guy, so.
Who we got here?
I'm Julia.
Julia, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
I'm not going to say that's a pretty name because they'll start laughing.
Why? Thank you. Who has been your most favorite person to interview?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah, I am.
Oh. Well, he's up there. He was a great interview with the Titans. He was a go-to guy because you knew you'd get, he had the answer to hello. Okay, you knew you would get a decent interview. An old coach of his that I want to get him to talk about, Herm Edwards, who was your coach with the Jets for a while.
5 years, yep. And I worked for him. I coached for him for 3 years.
He is a character.
Yes, he is.
You never quite know what's coming when you do an interview
No,
with
he's
Herm.
full of energy, and he's got a lot of one-offs and things like that. The one he's known most for is the "You play to win the game" speech. I was there for that one. So yeah.
Did he know at the time? Oh, this is going to go viral.
No, he did not. But we were 0-6 at the time, and Rich Cimini from the New York Post, I think it was, wanted to know if we were going to shut it down and quit. And he's like, he thought that was the dumbest question ever. He's, what? You played to win the game. So, and we did. We ended up making playoffs that year.
Yeah, and all these years later, they still run it.
Yep.
He would be, for me, if I was going to pick one, Julius Erving, Dr. J, for some reason, he and I hit it off. I knew a lot of old ABA stuff when he played, I guess it was the Nets, but they weren't the New Jersey Nets, whatever they were at the time. I knew a lot of ABA stuff, and he loved the questions. So there's your answer.
All right, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next? Oh,
This is my senior offensive lineman right here.
okay.
This is Bo Smith.
Do we at all take points off for jumping over the
No, not at all. It just shows his
I'm just
athleticism.
really excited.
But in school, he's not supposed to climb over the pews. He's supposed to go around and say excuse me. But
I'm sorry, Coach.
It's his last homecoming, so yeah, this is it.
Okay, tell us, you're an offensive lineman.
Yes, sir.
You know where you're going to school?
I do not know where I'm going to school.
Do we have it narrowed down?
We're working
Not
on it.
really.
We're
Okay.
working on it.
Okay. But there's going to be somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah. What do you got for Coach?
I have a paper question and a fun question. Do you have a preference?
I take both of them. Which one
All
you
right.
want to go first?
The paper question. Do you miss NFL Sundays?
Do I miss it? You know what I miss? I truly miss. I don't miss playing because every time I see a guy hit, it makes me hurt. What I miss is the locker room, and I miss the 5 seconds when you're standing in the tunnel before you come out. There's no greater feeling in the world than those 5 seconds right before you come out of the tunnel. It'd be akin to us coming out of the smoke on Friday nights. So I do miss that.
The truth of the Titans, going back to when he played and even before that, might be the best locker room that I have ever covered as far as percentage of really good guys. I'm not saying all of them were great interviews, but the level of human being in that locker room was way above average.
So
And the second question, could you sing a little song for the listeners?
Can I sing a song?
Yeah.
Like what kind of song?
I was thinking like Country Roads.
I don't know all the words. Country Roads Take Me Home, but I'm not going to sing that one.
To the
So,
place
but
I belong.
West Virginia, Mountain Mama.
Mountain
Come on,
Mama.
put your
Take Me
heart
Home.
into it.
I can see LSU's fight song. You don't want to hear that, do you?
Hold on a second. Is there a reason you asked that?
No, I just had a feeling Coach Milan's a good singer.
No, I am absolutely. I can't carry a tune in a bucket, and I can't dance.
All right.
So I can blow the whistle though.
You do that?
You want the LSU fight song?
Yeah, I'd love
All
that.
right, here you go. Hey, fighting Tigers, fight all the way. Go fighting Tigers, win the game today. You got to know how you're doing fine. Hang on to the ball as you hit the ball and crash right through the line. You got to go for a touchdown, run up the score. Make Mike the Tiger stand right up the roar. Give it all of your mighty fight tonight. Keep the goal in view. Victory for LSU. Tigers, Tigers. There we go. Yay.
Well, hold on a second. Nobody in the back cheered for that.
They're all Tennessee fans. That's why.
That was a heck of a performance.
That was great.
Y'all give him a little applause back there.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yay.
They're asleep back there.
All right, so I have a question. My name is Hunter Brandt.
Hunter, do you play football?
Oh, yes, I'm on the football team.
Okay.
I'm kickoff return specialist.
Okay.
Can we stop?
He is distraction ordinaire is what he is. He's very good at that.
Can we stop making the NFL about Taylor Swift? Do you think that's possible?
Oh, my God.
All right, so I'm name dropping. I had a conversation with Jason Kelsey this morning, and I told him if he would just put Taylor Swift in his pictures, he'd sell more jerseys than his brother. But he said, yeah, we're getting tired of it too. So I would be all for that. Let's make it about the NFL and not about the celebrities sitting in the stands.
Are you shocked at how overkill they have gone with
It's
that?
the NFL. It's all about making dollars. So it's like if you're up there and they can sell tickets and sell money, and Kansas City's not disappointed about it.
No,
So,
it's
but
I'm all about the money,
now
too.
Travis Kelce has become Taylor Swift's boyfriend and not Kelsey, the tight end. So it's kind of the Swifty magic,
Yeah.
What happens if we got her to come one of our games?
I would be excited because I like the song "Bad Blood" by her. So
Okay.
yeah.
Why don't you sing that for us?
Because now we got bad blood. Yeah, that's all.
There we go.
not bad.
Great job, Hunter.
What's up, Coach?
What's up, DJ?
I got a question for Mr. Plaster.
Well, hold on, DJ. Give me your name.
My real name's DeAndre Thomas Jr., but
Okay.
everybody call me DJ.
DJ, how are you?
Good, how about you?
I'm good.
My question for you is, do you think Nashville's going to get a baseball team?
Yes, I do.
Ask him why. Ask him why he's asking.
Why are you asking?
Oh, I'm a baseball player myself.
Really?
Sir.
Do you have a favorite major league team?
My favorite major league team is probably the Atlanta Braves.
Come on up here. Come on up here. Do you all have a problem with the Braves? Hey, way to go. I went to game one, DJ.
You did?
It sucked.
Very much.
It was really bad, but
I don't think we're allowed to use that word in the Cuff
I know.
Chapel. Just
You-
saying.
you know,
I mean,
you're probably right.
this isn't Broadway.
Hold on. It was not satisfying.
True.
Okay, so
Is baseball still being played? I mean, is that still going on?
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, it goes on till the end of October.
Yeah,
So,
and then it starts back up in November. I mean, it's the
Free
longest.
agent.
It's the longest
a long
season. Yeah. Anyways.
So here's the deal. If you ask people associated with MLB, they will tell you that Nashville right now is not in the mix. It is at the top of the list. Now, the problem is we haven't got any money. The reason we haven't got any money is because we spent it all on a dome stadium for
Ring of Fire, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go. Get that new West Side development going.
So it's sort of going to depend on who steps up to say, I'm going to be the majority owner, because the price tag is going to be in the B as in billions. And wow, yeah, Taylor Swift. She's got the money. There's no doubt. DJ, keep the faith on the Braves. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Okay.
DJ.
Who's next?
My name's Ryan, and my question is: Are the new?
Hold on a second. So Friday only on the hat, or can you wear that every day?
It's
Just this
it's
Friday.
homecoming Western theme day.
You can
today.
do boots and jeans on Friday, but just the hat is for the theme this Friday.
Very nice.
My question is: Are the new NFL contracts too much money for individual players?
No such thing. I mean, you serious? No such thing. Oh, yeah. You asking him or you asking me?
Either.
You go. I'll let you talk first.
No, listen, for the amount of pounding that they take, until you have been like a sideline announcer, and I've done it on the college level before I got hired as a play-by-play announcer, and if you go down on an NFL sideline during a game up close, oh my goodness, the amount of pounding and wear and tear that they take, they are worth every penny of whatever they get, period.
And just from the business side of it, the NFL made over $20 billion last year. So you take the players $100 million out of that, and the owner is still getting billions of dollars. So the answer is no.
All right, thank you.
This official word from the
I
NFL
only retired.
players.
I retired 10 years too early, and I was with the NFLPA president when we negotiated the 2011 deal. So the answer the players will never get paid enough.
Who we got here?
My name is Mac Baker, and I have a question for either of you. Do either of you play fantasy football?
No.
No.
Is there a reason?
I just never gotten into it. And then all fantasy football for me started while I was playing. And all it does is end up promoting to gambling, which the NFL players are not allowed to gamble. And yet the NFL makes money off pro sport. Was it?
It's a little two-faced.
Yeah, it's the NFL's making millions of dollars off DraftKings, but the players aren't allowed to play. They're not allowed to play fantasy sports where they can make money off of it.
That's true. I'm a little nervous because if I lose, I have to be in the talent show, and Justin Jefferson's on my team. He got hurt.
Oh, what's your talent, Mac?
I don't. Well, the winner gets to choose what the loser does. So,
If you lose, I'd like to be there and watch that one.
yes, sir.
You play football?
I do.
Okay, what's your position?
Oh, I'm just a bench warmer.
He is not. Mac Baker is a special teams guy. He's a backup linebacker, and this is his first game back after 5 weeks being on injured reserve. So
Nice.
And
Good
he's been
luck
voted
tonight.
as the team captain for this night.
Thank you.
Don't sell yourself short, Mac.
Okay, who else we got? That do it?
Might be it.
That might be.
Oh,
Oh, we got one more, and we've got another hat.
Yeah. Look at that. I mean, that's like, is that
Slow
detention, Coach Tillman? Is that a detention? Or Jamin, I know. I'm sorry. I saw Tillman the other day. I apologize. I said no, and I shook my head. Is that like, okay. We'll pray for his forgiveness.
Coach Mawai, what were your thoughts on the Ole Miss LSU game?
I have no thoughts on that. I think a blind dog gets a bone every now and then, and it's it all that matters where you're standing at the end of the season when LSU's playing in the West Championship game and Ole Miss will be sitting home eating French fries.
All right, Bennett has a question.
Hello, Ben.
Hello, how are you?
Do you have a last name?
Been in Whitefield.
Nice.
All these guys just climbing over the chairs, Jamin. I mean,
Where do you
and they're all
learn
seniors.
that?
And they're all seniors.
Where do you all learn that?
All right, Coach Wise, questions for you.
Uh-oh.
What are your thoughts on the LSU Florida State game?
It's a lot of LSU.
I will
Seems to
tell
be
you
a
this.
recurring theme.
One, I will never bet against LSU. I don't care. I'm a homer till I die. And two, purple is so much better looking than garnet and gold. So I'll just say that. So thanks. I just got to keep throwing darts at me, but that's all right. I'll take them. I'm good.
Okay, look at them over there plotting.
I know. It's like they're gonna ask me, who's the other team? Oh, and by the way, before you guys get to this question, I only won 14 games in my college career at LSU, so you don't have to go there. It was the 6 worst seasons of the history of the school. So I'll nip that one in the bud too. So What's the next one? Come on, Cullen. I ain't scared.
Okay, do you have a name?
Cullen Womble. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Is Edwin Spillman your favorite player?
Edwin is one of my favorite players. When the guys that do things right, make good grades, and work harder than everybody else, those become coaches' favorites. And so I would have to say Edwin is one of my favorite players. Yes.
Can you pick him out here in the room?
Why do you think he's one of my
Edwin,
favorites?
How you doing?
Why do you think he's my favorite? Because he makes good grades, he does everything right, he works hard, and he does everything the way you're supposed to do it. Right?
He's Mr. Perfect.
No, there's no such thing as perfect, but Edwin is. Yeah. But I love every one of you guys, Colin. Even you.
Is that how we end the questions out of the audience? Hey,
I can take another one. I don't care. I can do this all
okay.
the time.
We got one more. Who's got the last question? Come on up.
What we got? Who we got? We'll take two. Hey, let's go Sayla. Let's do Sayla first, and we'll do Michael last. Come on, Sayla. Come on. We got you next, Michael.
This is for Coach Mawai.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Sayla.
Sayla what?
Justice.
Sayla's Justice dad is our defensive line coach.
Oh.
His dad was Winston Justice, who played in the NFL for 10 years, another offensive lineman. So, anyways, Sayla? What do you want, Sayla?
Oh, what's your favorite color, Coach Mawai?
My favorite is purple. Literally, my favorite color is purple. Always has been.
Now, wait a minute.
Yes.
You leaped out of halfway back there for a question that you knew the answer to before you ever asked it. True?
No, I didn't know. His favorite color is
please.
purple.
You knew exactly. Come on. What'd you expect him to say? Orange?
I thought he was going to say red. He looks like a red guy.
No, I don't like red. Purple is my favorite color.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get one more. Who was the last one?
Hey there, my name is Michael Hubble.
Michael,
Coach
how
Mawai,
you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good, thank you.
Coach Mawai, this question's for you.
Why do you look so serious?
Yeah,
this is about to be a tough one, isn't it?
Looked like he was about to arrest you.
Oh, yeah.
What was the most intense practice you've had during your NFL career?
Most intense practice I had during my NFL career. Well, was it you want me to do the first one of the day, the second one of the day, or the third one of the day? Because we used to do 3 a days when I was in the NFL. Get up 7:30 on the field 7:30, 9:30, come back in, take a break, take a shower. You're back on the field for 11:30 for an hour and a half. Then you take about a 3-hour break, come back for 3 o'clock. You're not off the field to 6. You eat lunch, then you eat dinner, then you go to meetings till 10 o'clock at night. So it all depends on which day of the practice you're talking about.
It's a long schedule.
Yes, it is. It's the NFL.
That's a great question.
But it's a
by
great
the way.
question because the game has changed. So now you're not allowed to have 2 a days. You can't. Most players are done by 9 o'clock at night, and you don't go full pads 2 days in a row. But when I played for Bill Parcells, we went 2 a days every day for 4 weeks before you got a break, and then that was 10 o'clock meetings at nighttime. But as far as just excruciating stuff, I don't know. I mean, I got knocked out in practice one time. I don't remember the rest of it. I sat in the training room, but the game was a lot different.
Here's the thing about what he's saying. He helped collectively bargain a lot of that 3-a-day stuff out of the pro football world. If you look back on who had some impact, he did. He had a big impact.
So up until 2011, we still did 2 a days on a regular basis. And the biggest deal at the time was concussions and CTEs. So during the 2011 CBA negotiations, me and my group of the NFLPA, we negotiated away 2 a days to make it mandatory that you get 24-hour period off after you take shoulder pads. You can't put pads on 2 days in a row, and you had to have a mandatory like 24-hour break after 6 days of practice. And so what happened is, because we eliminated 2 a days, it trickled down into college and into the high school levels. Now, high school, you can still do 2 a days, but you're not allowed to put pads on 2 days in a row or 2 practices in a row. And so, and it was all designed to help protect the players from their health and safety and eliminate the opportunities to have incidences of concussions and CTEs. And so that was a big deal. But it was a big win for NFL players. And on top of that, we got more money in our revenue streams to help pay the players more. So it's a major increase in salaries for the players at the time. And it ended up giving players more benefits on the back end. So there's a lot of history behind the game and about how we practice on our fields that started from what I did with the NFLPA back in 2010 and 11.
Thanks for the question.
That's a great question, though.
Okay,
All right, Michael.
let's end this like this. They've sat around. It looks like they're plotting a revolution. A lot of whispering, a lot of. Are y'all going to win tonight?
Ask them what's the only thing that matters.
What's the only thing that matters?
We're getting there. We're not there all the way. We're working on it, though. It'll be a great game tonight, though.
Last time, because the last one wouldn't have paid the light bill. Are you all going to win tonight? They were a lot louder at Ryan.
Ooh.
They definitely were.
Are y'all going to win tonight?
They're just chilling out. They're just waiting for the pep rally in the back there. They don't even know why they're here. It's like, we're just here because we got to be here. Study hall period for us, so we're just hanging out.
They make us go to commercial breaks, so we got to end this. But I am thrilled that we were able to pull this off. It is great to see you again.
Great seeing you, and we'll be around town. So
this is a good man. Y'all listen to what he has to say. Kevin Mawai is the new head coach at Lipscomb Academy. We'll be back with more of Football Friday when we come back. Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs.
Convenience and value, two words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday.
All right, I'm here with my buddy Chip Ward from Lincoln Home Loans. And Chip, it's football season, and it feels like it's moving season every time of the year, especially here in Nashville. Tell us about your business, Chip, and kind of introduce people to who you are and what you do here in the Nashville area.
Well, you're exactly right, Billy. It is definitely moving season, as it is most times, especially right here after Labor Day. Kids are back in school, and people are starting to think they want to get settled in before the holidays. And so what we are doing is right now we are getting a lot of people pre-approved for home loans. Inventory has ticked up a little bit. It has been down, but it's rebounding a little bit. And right now is a good time to buy.
Chip, real quick before I let you go, tell people how they can reach you. And if someone is interested in your business, how would they reach out to you?
Well, sure. At Lincoln Home Loans, you can reach me at 615-500-7579. My URL for my application page is chipward.net, and my email address is simply chip@chipward.net. And so I'd love to hear from anybody. I can answer any questions about the whole home buying and financing process.
Welcome back into Football Friday, of course, presented by Josh Houston and Associates, Southern Trophy House, Metro Police Department, and Star Physical Therapy. And now we're happy to bring on George Robinson, of course, from the Tennessean. He's joined us every week to preview the biggest games of the week. And we're going to say hello to George now. George, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, George, let's hop into the games of the week. Of course, we got a big one here where we are right now at Lipscomb Academy as they welcome Brentwood Academy. But let's start with the one I got on the screen right now, Antioch and Smyrna. Now, this is very important because Antioch could win Region 5-6A with a win tonight, and they are 3-0 in their region so far. So, obviously, we've talked about their struggles at the beginning of the season, but I mean, down the stretch here, George, they've been arguably one of the better teams in the mid-state, especially in their region, and they could win their region tonight. So how impressed have you been with them, and can they get it done on the road against Smyrna tonight?
Yeah, I've been super impressed with Antioch this year. I had an opportunity to go see them early in the year when they played Cane Ridge. Cane Ridge has struggled this year as well. But that was a perennial playoff team prior to this year. And Antioch was able to beat Cane Ridge for the first time in 10 years. Antioch's a interesting story this year because they have, I think we've talked about it on some past shows here on Friday afternoons. This is a program that's only had 2 wins total in probably about 5 or 6 years. They were winless the previous 2 years in a row, and here they are in the midst of a season where they could have an opportunity to wrap up a region championship tonight if they could beat Smyrna. That's a tremendous turnaround, in 1 year span. You really don't see those kinds of turnarounds that often. And it's really indicative of the kind of season that they've had, the kind of, the kind of turnaround that they've had. And beating Smyrna is going to be a difficult task, I will say. Smyrna, they've been playing well this year, but I do think with this particular Antioch team, I think they're capable of, capable of doing that. They're capable of pulling off a win, surprising pretty much everybody this year and winning a region championship. Wouldn't that be a great story for that program?
All right, let's move on to FRA and CPA, a couple of undefeated teams, and I am so intrigued to see what will happen tonight. You got talent all across the field. Of course, FRA running back Ty Clark, CPA Andre Evans. He plays DB, plays receiver. I know you're familiar with him. He's all over the field, George, and he actually recently flipped a commitment from LSU to Georgia. So obviously you've got that storyline, and Ingle Martin against Justin Geisinger, of course, two of the better coaches in the mid-state. What are you most looking forward to watching in this one, which I think personally is the best game of the week?
Yeah, FRA's offense has just been spectacular this year. And like you mentioned, Ty Clark has kind of led the way there. I think he's got over 1,100 yards rushing, 21 touchdowns this year at the running back position for him. They're going to have their hands full against the CPA defense, which, is one of the better defenses in Middle Tennessee. And, you mentioned Andre Evans, who plays defensive back, and Cruz Law, who's a linebacker there. They have a great offensive lineman in John Wayne Oliver, who's the Ole Miss commit. Cruz Law is going to North Carolina. There's a lot of Division I, Power 5, prospects that's going to be on that field. Logan Kennard, the quarterback for FRA, has done a fantastic job. So, there's a lot of individual players that are going to highlight that game. That's going to bring that game, to sort of be the kind of game I think everybody is going to be excited to watch. You mentioned Andre. Obviously, he was an LSU commit originally. Back in June, he committed to LSU, and then a couple of days ago, he flipped his commitment to Georgia. So, that's going to be a huge opportunity for him to put himself in that position. Sorry, I got a dog barking here.
No worries.
But yeah, so he's got a position. He's in a position to really, make a name for himself. At the collegiate level eventually. Playing at Georgia, 2-time defending national champion. So it's there's a lot of really good high school football players that are going to be on that field tonight. And you're talking about another opportunity for the winner to take a step closer to being a region champ. I think both of those schools are undefeated in Middle Region, Division II, AA Middle Region. So CPA's just got the one loss against Pearl Cone at the beginning of the season. So these two teams have been playing really, really well.
And my apologies. It's actually Smyrna at Antioch tonight. So Antioch is hosting Smyrna. Thank you to Logan in the chat there. George, let's move on to Centennial at Page. Well, we'll just say Verse because I've been getting these home teams wrong. But Centennial and Page tonight, a couple of Williamson County teams that have played well. And this one right now where we are this season is important. So what are you watching for in this one tonight?
These are going to be better. The two of the better defenses in Middle Tennessee as well. Page, I think, has held 5 straight opponents to 7 points or less, and I think Centennial has 4 shutouts this year. They've shut out 4 opponents this year as well. So you're talking 2 really, really good defenses. So I don't expect this to be a high-scoring game. I kind of figure maybe the CPA FRA game may be a little bit high scoring, even though CPA has got a really good defense. But I don't expect this to, this one to be in the 30s or 40s, for either one of these teams. But they're two very, very solid teams, very disciplined teams. They like to run the ball. Ball control is certainly the name of the game for these two teams. And I think this is going to be one of those games where both teams are 3-0 in their region 6-5A, but I feel like Page may have a little bit more momentum, going into this game. Centennial has lost the game here recently, and I think they're you can't discount what Jamal Stewart has been able to do. Since coming over from East Nashville, now that he is over at Centennial, but I just feel like Page really has a lot of momentum. kind of going into this game, and we'll see who comes out on top there.
All right, let's close it out. Independence at Brentwood. Independence 5-3 overall. They're 2-1 in the region. They're coming off a big win of their own over Fairview last week. And for the Bruins, they have dominated this season. They are 8-0, 3-0 in the region. They're coming off a win over Centennial, a team we just talked about. And this is as big as it gets in Williamson County. Independence with a golden opportunity tonight, George, but Brentwood a chance to get their 9th win of the season. How about this matchup?
Yeah, Brentwood has, like you talked about, they've played really well this year. They're 8-0. They haven't lost. I think they're ranked number 3 in the state in class in class 6A, and playing an Independence team that they've beaten 3 straight times that they faced each other, and I think 6 of the last 7 games against Independence. There's a huge game coming up in a week that Brentwood is probably looking at. They probably have circled on their calendar, and that's Ravenwood. That's going to be a huge game as well, because that is a region game. Ravenwood plays Oakland tonight, which isn't a region game for Ravenwood. So Ravenwood's kind of stepping out of region and playing the 6A Power in Oakland. But getting back into league play, though, those 2 teams, Brentwood and Ravenwood, will play next week. And I think, I think Brentwood's got to be a little bit cautious about not overlooking Independence, kind of staring at that Ravenwood game next week. So, if you want to call it a trap game, or, I don't necessarily think you could call any region game a trap game, but certainly, I think Brentwood has enough to be able to get past Independence tonight. It's just a matter of, Independence really playing solid football and not sort of overlooking Indy, because Indy has enough to be able to kind of spoil that opportunity for Brentwood. But that next week's game against Ravenwood for Brentwood is going to be huge.
Another loaded slate, George, and we really appreciate you taking the time. Where are you going to be tonight?
I will be at the Ravenwood Oakland game, actually. So
okay.
I'll get a chance. It'll be my first time getting a chance to see Oakland in a few years. I haven't watched them play in probably about 3 or 4 years. So I think maybe this may be the first time I've seen them play since they've been on their state championship run. They won, I think, 3 straight state titles. So this will be the first time I've gotten to see them play since they've been sort of the dominant team in 6A.
George, I was having a reunion with Kevin Mawai, and it was great talking to him. So thanks for doing all this with Billy. I will actually talk to you next week.
Mawai, I said hello.
I'll do it. Thank you as always.
Yeah, thank you guys.
George Robinson does a great job covering high school football for the Tennessean. He joins us every week in our high school exclusive 2:00 hour. We'll go to the break, and then we'll have more when we come back. Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs.
Convenience and value, two words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday. Okay, we are back. As you can imagine, we probably went over the time that we normally do, but it was great seeing Kevin Mawai. I hadn't seen him in a couple, 3 years, and when he was a Titan, really enjoyed having him on various shows that we would do. This is a big week number 9 of the high school football season. The regular season concludes next Friday. Then we get into the playoffs. So, Billy, who are the important names to watch?
George, we're going to start off with Ty Clark. We've had him before. He was our player of the week.
He's a season ticket holder.
Yeah, season ticket holder. I think he was our player of the week 1, maybe week 2. But, I mean, he's just been unbelievable, and he's gotten more interest from colleges around the South. And he's going to have more. I mean, they're going to keep coming. So Ty Clark is our first player to watch. They were on a bye last week. FRA plays CPA tonight at CPA in the biggest game of the Mid-State. That is the TV game on My TV 30, Friday Night Rival. So looking forward to seeing him against CPA. Up next, quarterback right here at Lipscomb Academy, Jackson Kilberg. Of course, under Trent Dilfer, George, they had a guy that I'm forgetting his name, but he ended up playing at Cincinnati. And so, and I think he actually left Cincinnati for UAB to go join Trent Dilfer. But now, under Kevin Mawai, they bring in Jackson Kilberg, who has just been phenomenal. A wide variety skill set from him. He can run well, but he's also got a great arm. So looking forward to seeing him in action as they welcome Brentwood Academy. And they've got a good quarterback of their own, George McIntyre. I'm sure that some people are excited to watch as well. Third, George, Ashton Jones, running back from Oakland.
We know him well.
You know him well, especially that family. Good kid. George, last week, 11 carries for 68 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 42-0 win over Coffee County for Oakland. And he's a guy that he's gotten bigger. He's worked hard. He's athletic, and he's got everything you want in a high school running back. So looking forward to seeing him not only tonight but down the road and seeing if he will end up playing at the college level. And lastly, Jackson Stroop, quarterback at Gallatin for the Green Wave. Last week in their win over Wilson Central, he was 12 of 19 for 152 yards and 2 total touchdowns. And he's been a guy that I've been tracking throughout the season as a guy to watch, and I've finally been able to put him on our list. So looking forward to seeing him throughout the season.
Okay, we're going to bounce all over the place. I know Terry McCormick is on a short leash because he's got to be somewhere in about 5 minutes. So let's get our daily Titans update from Terry McCormick. It's brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. She wants to be your mortgage lady, and through the folks at USA Mortgage, that absolutely can happen. Dial her up, 615 969 4350. Terry, I'm guessing it's a slow news day, but I don't know that for sure.
Yes, George, it kind of is a slow news day, but wanted to kind of talk to you just a little bit about where the Titans are. And they are in trouble offensively. They have scored a grand total of 8 touchdowns in 6 games, George. How do you think that fares in today's NFL?
It gets you to the bottom of your division.
Yes, it does. Especially when the Miami Dolphins have already scored 30 touchdowns and 3 other teams already have over 20. So
Wow.
if this team is thinking about a rebuild, and I got to think that they have to be considering that now, they've got to do some things to get faster and get more explosive because this team is just not capable of consistently putting together explosive plays, and that's what wins games. I mean, it's well good and great that the defense has been pretty good because it keeps them in games, but the truth of the matter is the Kansas City Chiefs don't care if they give up 30 points because they're probably just going to go score 31. And that's today's NFL, and that's what the Titans have to at some point embrace and get around to.
Terry, the scary thing is for this year, I don't see where they have any answers.
No, I think this is a long-term idea that they're going to have to get a hold of and embrace. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but as they go into the draft and go into free agency this off season, if they're convinced that Will Levis is going to be the guy, they've got to be able to protect him, and two, they've got to get some weapons for him so that he can, have a chance to become a top level quarterback. There are not many guys other than maybe Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen that could operate with less than top talent at the skill position, at receiver and running back and things like that. And other than Derrick Henry, the Titans just don't have enough pieces like that. I guess you could put DeAndre Hopkins in there, but they really don't have a true speed element in their wide receiver core, and I think that really hurts them.
Terry, when they get back early next week, your gut feeling is still that Vrabel waits until the 11th hour to announce whoever is going to win this battle to start against Atlanta?
I think he'll play that card for as long as he can in terms of keeping people guessing, but I think he probably already has an inclination of who he's going with.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, he's got to. He's the leader of this thing. He knows what either is or isn't. Thank you. I know you're on a short leash today as far as time, and I really appreciate, as always, your efforts.
All right. Thanks, George. Appreciate it.
Terry McCormick's Daily Titans Update brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. She wants to be your mortgage lady, and through the folks at USA Mortgage, that is absolutely possible. So dial her up, 615 969 4350. Yes, we went a little long with the Kevin Mawai interview, and that will have us doing a series of things such as
Player of the Week. And our Player of the Week this week, George, is Upperman quarterback Bronston Chaffin. Now, the numbers may not pop out to you very much, but it's his versatility. And really, I've tried to make these Player of the Weeks more of a yearly award. Okay, they've done so much, and I want to make them a Player of the Week. But last week for Bronston Chaffin, great name, by the way.
Yeah.
He was 6 of 10 passing for 134 yards and a touchdown. But he also had 15 carries for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, he almost acted as a running back for this Upperman team, more carries than pass attempts. So, I mean, I think you see that pretty often at the high school level where you got a quarterback that runs more often than he throws, but really impressive. 15 carries, 60 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They beat White House 28-14, but even more impressive, Upperman is 8-0. So they remained undefeated last week. They've got Stone Memorial tonight at home. So he is leading a really good Upperman team, and they deserve some attention, and they're getting it. They're starting to get a lot more of it. The Upperman Bees quarterback Bronston Chaffin is our player of the week, brought to you by Southern Trophy House.
Absolutely beautiful. And congratulations to him, and thanks to the folks at Southern Trophy House who do a fabulous job, not only with plaques, but shirts. Oh, yeah. How about that?
As cheesy as it is.
Yeah, no, nothing cheesy about it. We'll go to the break. Who knows where we go during this hour, but I'll tell you that next on the list is my tale of the tape of tomorrow's Tennessee-Alabama game. Then Coach Watson Brown expected to join us. Hopefully we can tie it all in with a little bit of a health moment, courtesy of the folks at Star Physical Therapy. We're all over the world today. Stay tuned.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, "You need to call Bart Durham." And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
Year number 2 of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night was awesome. And the reason is really simple. I chose Strike and Spare, and they were amazing. They have great food, great bowling, and a staff that is truly ready to go the extra mile to help you. They have 5 family fun centers in the area to choose from. And for more info, go to strikeandspare.com or call them at 615-824-5685.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
I'm Watson Brown.
I'm Kelly Holcomb.
I'm Billy Derrick.
We're the George Plaster Show. We've been Nashville's best sports talk for the last 30 years. And you know what? We still are.
Catch us live weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time in Nashville on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, the podcast version is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit SouthernTrophy.com, Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs.
It is the third Saturday in October, and the show is on one more time in Knoxville, Tennessee. One of the premier games in college football about to be played. Nearly 100,000 faithful will huddle today in East Tennessee to shout, "Roll Tide," to the deepest regions of the Smokies, and dance to
Keith Jackson.
The late, great voice of college football. We miss him dearly. That said, we are at the third Saturday in October, and that does mean Tennessee and Alabama. And let's go to the tail of the tape. And I'll tell you up front, this was really hard for me. And the truth of it is, you may not agree with much of this. Doesn't necessarily mean you're wrong. The only thing I'm certain I got right is that, Billy, the home field.
Oh,
Oh.
no. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure.
Yes.
Oh, I've got the helmets mixed up.
You do. Can you flip them?
I can't.
Okay. So
Actually,
I'm just going to.
I think I'll be able to.
Really? Well, that'll be exciting. I'm going to read through a little bit of where I'm going with this. So clearly, Alabama is the home team. Look at that.
Not yet.
How
Not
quickly.
yet. Not yet, George.
Okay. But Billy's working up. Now he gives away
No, it's
where I'm going with it.
It looks different, George.
Okay. So Alabama at Bryant-Denny Stadium clearly is the home team. That one, I'm pretty sure I got right. I gave Tennessee the check mark in the running game because they have been from the beginning against Virginia until now one of the top 5 to 10 rushing teams in America. Alabama, they've talked about trying to dominate running the football, but deep down, it's been kind of muddy. Tennessee, I give the advantage to. So a year ago, you would have said clear advantage to Tennessee throwing the football. Not under Joe Milton. And you saw it a week ago. Josh Heupel looked like he got gun shy. Looked like he was afraid to call certain pass patterns because he didn't think Milton could deliver the football. I'm calling this a dead even battle going in. Jalen Milroe, he's had his moments, good and bad. Who knows what to think when it comes to who throws the football better? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Milroe, I think, is the better quarterback, and he has a way better deep ball, I think, than Milton. But Joe Milton, we've seen some flashes, but nothing consistent. So, I mean, my gut tells me Milton is the better quarterback, but you got to go out there and play.
I gave the check mark defensively to Tennessee. I thought they were unbelievable a week ago against A&M. And you think about how many times their offense went 3 and out. They were on the field a lot, but they dominated the second half against A&M, and in particular in the pass rush. Do I think they're going to have that kind of success tomorrow? No, I don't. I think Alabama will be better than that. But nonetheless, the check mark on defense has to go to Tennessee. Both teams have decent kicking games. I gave that dead even because I really can't give you a lot on who has the advantage there. Let's get to the intangibles. When Tennessee won a year ago, that sort of got rid of what I would call their Berlin Wall. Alabama had owned Tennessee, and there were certain years where I don't think Tennessee went in believing they could win. So last season was huge. When they won that game 52-49, not only did the fans go absolutely nuts at Neyland Stadium, but I can promise you in that locker room, there was not only joy, but a sense of relief that that streak had finally been broken. Now, flip it to the Alabama side. Bama's going to play smarter than A&M did. They are going to make Joe Milton beat them with his throwing arm. And the reason is simple. This is not Nick Saban's first rodeo.
No.
This guy's not chump change.
No.
He will coach a good ball game, and he'll do better than Jimbo Fisher did a week ago. Now, you see the word revenge. If you heard Mac Hereford on our show earlier this week, he made it very clear that Nick Saban uses this stuff to the nth degree, that the likelihood is that these players are so sick of seeing film footage of what happened a year ago that revenge is a huge factor.
Yeah.
Thus, I've got Alabama winning tomorrow 25-20. Hotly contested game, much lower scoring game than a year ago. Who knows if I'm right or not? It's just one person's opinion. But I'll say this, 2:30 on CBS, I bet they're pretty good numbers in this state.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be the highest rated game definitely in this state. Does it get higher rated than Penn State, Ohio State? You think? I mean, if you narrowed it down to households.
Yeah, it does. First of all.
But overall.
Oh, nationally?
Nationally, yeah.
Hard to, I wouldn't think so.
But in this state, certainly. I mean, there's not a television in this state that's not glued to this game tomorrow.
Well, you got two good ones. The 11 o'clock from Columbus, Ohio State and Penn State. And then at 2:30, Tennessee and Alabama. Those are two in a row that are pretty doggone solid.
Oh, yeah. And George, tomorrow is a type of day where you get really good games all in a row. You got a really good game at 11 a.m. with Penn State, Ohio State, really good game at 2:30 with Tennessee and Alabama. And then you've got you've got several night games, Utah, USC, Ole Miss, Auburn.
Clemson, Miami.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think we do have Watson Brown with us.
Okay, let's bring him on. Watson, how are you?
Hey, guys.
So,
can you hear me?
We sure can. So, are you of the belief that Nick Saban, in concocting their defensive game plan, is basically going to tell Tennessee, we are going to load up that box. Eli Gold will be in the box if need be. And we are going to force Joe Milton to beat us with his throwing arm because we don't think he can.
I think, George, Nick's defensive ego will not let him let Tennessee run the ball. He may start out trying to play just six in the box a little bit. But if they start running that football like they've been doing the last few weeks against South Carolina and A&M, he's gonna do everything he can to stop that. He'd rather get beat with a pass than the run. I've gone against Coach Saban, and he does not like the ball run on him. So I don't know that he'll start the game loading the box, but it won't take him long to get them in there.
Is the biggest difference tomorrow just simply Bryant-Denny Stadium?
I think so. I think it's a toss-up game. I don't see it very close. And I think the quarterback that plays the best wins the game. And I don't think either quarterback has played great, and I don't think either quarterback has to play great tomorrow. But I think the one that plays the best of the two, that's who wins the game. I think Tennessee's got a great shot of winning this game. I think Tennessee's offensive line is better than Alabama's. I think the two defensive lines are toss-ups. I think Tennessee's running backs are better than Alabama's. I think receivers are toss-ups. So if it was in Knoxville, I'd pick Tennessee. I just think they'd win the game. With it being in Tuscaloosa, I throw it back at the two quarterbacks. Which one plays the best of the two? Not great, but which one plays the best of the two?
Watson, the earlier game that is the big feature matchup, Ohio State at home against Penn State, and it's easy to be cynical and say, okay, I'll believe Penn State wins that game when I see it. But there's some reasons to believe they've got a shot. One of those being they've got a great defensive front that is likely to give Ohio State a lot of trouble.
Yeah, George, I don't think Ohio State scores a bunch of points in this game. So if it's not a high-scoring game, now Penn State's right there to me. And I just don't think Ohio State beat Notre Dame, but they didn't play great that night. And I just don't think they've hit all cylinders yet. And I don't know that they will tomorrow. Again, I don't know exactly what the line is, but I think this is 50-50. I think I would not be shocked at all if Penn State wins this game.
For the record, Ohio State's a 4.5-point favorite. What do we think?
I think I got to go Penn State there.
What do we think we know about Kyle McCord, the Ohio State quarterback?
Not much. I mean, I think he's been good at times, not consistently good. Honestly, he made some plays in that Notre Dame game that we all watched, but he didn't make a ton. Notre Dame helped him in the game. I personally thought Notre Dame wins the game for two reasons. That they didn't win the game was on that 4th and 20. They're in prevent defense. They've been rushing 4 and 5 and getting to the quarterback all night long. All of a sudden, they decide to go rush 3. Now the guy gets to stand back there and he throws a seam route that's kind of up for grabs, and the Notre Dame was soft. And so it wasn't just a great play by him. I have not seen him play great yet. Matter of fact, I think the Penn State quarterback so far has outplayed him, and there's not been a lot of talk about that.
Watson, you may not know much here. It looks like the NCAA has been able to zero in on an analyst named Connor Stallions as the mastermind of the alleged sign stealing involving the University of Michigan. How much of this do you think goes on?
Oh, I think it's gone on for years and years and years, George. And I, you know, we're always trying to steal signs during a game from the sidelines. I mean, if you ever got a hold of a defensive signal as an offensive guy, if you knew what they were in, look out, you're going to have a pretty good day. You know, you're not very good when you know what's coming and you still couldn't move the ball. But no, this has gone on forever. Now, I have heard, I've never been around it, have heard where they go send scouts out on games, like they're going to play somebody in 3 weeks, and they'll send a scout to the 2 games prior to theirs, sit in the stands with binoculars or something and try to pick up the signals and see what the signal is, then bring it back on them. Just come up with a signal and write it down 1 through 85, however many plays there were. And then you try to match it to the film to see if you can come up with anything steady, stuff like that. That sounds to me like what this is all about. This is very hard to prove, but usually somebody squeals within your own group. And if they've already got a name, somebody has squealed in some way. If this is the case, I think Coach Harbaugh is in deep trouble, especially after what went down in recruiting. Would he know about this? I would have. Because it would have to be talked about around the building. Somebody would say, okay, this is this coverage. This signal is for this here. This signal is for this here. I would sit there. How the hell do you know that? You know, I just can't see how you don't know that when you're preparing for somebody around the building. But I'm not saying that isn't possible. I know that, George, the staffs are so much bigger in today's world than when I was a head coach. And so maybe stuff like this can happen. I don't know if he might have known it. No way the offensive staff didn't know it, or the defensive staff, whichever side they got the signals. There's no way those guys didn't know it.
Isn't this the guarantee that he's headed back to the NFL?
Now, when he took on the NC2A, I've been interviewed by the NC2A for 5 hours once at one school I was at as an assistant coach.
I bet that was fun.
I'm telling you, that was a blast. 5 hours. And it was after I left the staff, and so then they start hunting you down and see if they can come up with anything. Thank goodness I didn't know anything, and it was legit. So it was, but still, 5 hours. They will come after you. They will come after you in that way, and once you take them on and won't talk to them, and you're ugly to them or whatever. That time they wanted to talk to me about somebody else, I talked to them. I didn't take them on. I was fine too because I knew there wasn't anything to it. But when he took them on like he did, they don't forget it. They do not forget it, and they would come back after him in a heartbeat after that.
Watson, last week after a loss to Florida at home, Shane Beamer broke his foot in frustration, which I just think is hilarious. I'm sure nobody was laughing.
His foot did not think it was hilarious.
No, but Watson,
no.
It's interesting. There feels like there's a little bit more heat on him now, and he's got a big one against Missouri tomorrow night. Number one, how impressed have you been with Missouri, their quarterback Brady Cook, and what Drinkwitz has been able to do with that program? But also Shane Beamer, how big of a game is that for him tomorrow night?
I wouldn't think there's that kind of heat on him at this point, but he sure feels it. There's no doubt about that. You lose your cool. You lose your cool at times. I can remember where I was on an occasion and put my hand through something and wondered if I hadn't broke it. So I mean, been there, done that. I never got it X-rayed, but I got the soreness finally went away. And I said, "Praise the Lord! I guess I didn't break it." So been there, done that. We lose it at times. Most of the time when that happens, it's you're upset with the team or you're upset with the staff or something, and you just quickly lose it. I don't think there's any major heat on him. They've been disappointing, but I'm not sure they weren't. They lost some good players at the end of the year. They were so hot at the end of the year when they beat Tennessee and then they beat Clemson. And they came in with such high expectations. I think they were unfair expectations. Now Shane may have brought a lot of that on because I read some things he said in the off season and man, just kind of ride things out and let's see what goes down as the season goes. But I think if you went through the Southeastern Conference fans, South Carolina would be one right at the top of the list as being very disappointing. So maybe he's just not handling that well. I think he's got his hands full big time on Missouri. Missouri, I tell you, I saw him play Vanderbilt parts of it, and I've seen them play since. They're a lot better. They have gotten better as this season's gone on. I think what it is, guys, their confidence level has grown. They're starting to win games, and now all of a sudden they're saying, hey, man, we can play with anybody. And Tennessee's got these guys down the road. When they played Kentucky the other day, they looked so much better than when they played Vanderbilt. And that's not competition. I'm just saying look better. And I just think they're a whole lot better. And I think right now, I'm not sure that would be one of the top 2 or 3 I don't want to mess with in the league.
Watson, there's another big one tomorrow in the SEC. Ole Miss at Auburn down in Jordan-Hare, 6 o'clock. If Hugh Freeze wins this, there's so many repercussions, I feel like. Number one, Auburn sort of accelerates their growth, and they've sort of arrived on the scene. But for Ole Miss, you probably might be seeing a little bit of heat on Lane Kiffin after losing to, the former coach at Ole Miss. So what do you look at in this matchup? Ole Miss is only favored by 6.5 going into that snake pit at Jordan-Hare.
Yeah, I've never had to do that. I don't ever remember ever having that kind of heat that I got to go play the guy that was there that got fired for some things but was winning and winning good. And I don't ever remember that. Lane's got to feel that one, Billy, to me. He's got to feel it a little bit. Ole Miss should win the game. Auburn is not very good on offense, but Hugh has had this one marked for a while.
Mm-hmm.
and if he's going to pop out with things and shoot everything he can to score points, this is the week we'll see it. So let's see what he does. He's at Auburn, and we all know that is not. I've been there bunches of times to play coach, and that is not it's underrated in the atmosphere. I'm telling you, that is a fantastic atmosphere. And I know how he'll have those players. They will be ready to play, and that's why I just think that I don't know they win, but I think it's going to be a really good game.
Watson, last thing, your brother had a great second half against Miami last Saturday, as did Tez Walker. They're undefeated right now, and it looks to me like they could be undefeated for a while. Getting into November, how much noise do you think they can make nationally with what they are and where they are?
Well, they're going to make a lot of noise in the next 3 weeks because they're going to just sit back and they're going to be heavy favorites 3 times in a row. I mean, they got Virginia at home tomorrow. They got Georgia Tech. Now, Georgia Tech snuck up and beat them last year, which I think will even help Mac more. And then they got Campbell at home. So they're going to win the next 3. So they're going to sit there. They're not going to be talked about a bunch because it's not great teams they're playing. And all of a sudden they're going to be 9-0, George, and there's some of these other undefeateds that are going to lose. And so then there are going to be fewer of them. And he'll keep sneaking up in the polls. So when he gets to Duke, he finishes, I think I'm right about this. I'm not real sure, but I think I'm right. He finishes with Duke at North Carolina State at Clemson. And that's where he's got to make hay. And then, of course, even with one loss, he might still be playing Florida State in the championship game. So he's got a lot on the table, but you've nailed it. He's going to sit quiet for the next couple, 3 weeks because they're not going to talk about him much other than when the polls come out each week. But they're just not playing anybody and not much. And then look out in those last 3. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on the Tar Heels. This is by far, and I'm talking myself. I'm not talking he said to me. I've watched him every year, of course. And this is by far his best team. By far. It's not even close. He's playing much better defense. He's much more physical in the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. You don't just have to pass the ball to beat everybody. And getting this Walker kid eligible, wow. I mean, I don't know if you saw him the other day. He's freakish. Mac did tell me he runs 4.2. He can fly.
Yeah.
And so you add him to that team now and let him start fitting in as it goes, and you give him 3 weeks here to keep getting better and better and better. They're the sneak team to me. I think even if they lost one and they play Florida State in the ACC championship, I'd pick him as quick as I pick Florida State with those weapons that he has.
And
I bet you, I think his quarterback will end up the first pick. I think he'll pass Caleb Williams before the year's over. I think he'll be the first pick in the draft.
Watson, give me the 3 again. Duke at.
I think he's good. At NC State, at Clemson.
And at Clemson. So at Clemson is Thanksgiving weekend.
It probably is, George. I'm not sure about dates, and it would probably have to be, but that will be a huge game.
Yeah,
but if he had beaten the other 2, he's probably in the championship game, whether he wins that game or not.
Yeah, it's flip-flop. Duke at North Carolina at Clemson, November 18th, and then North Carolina at NC State, Thanksgiving
so
weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's flipped.
Hey.
Yeah. And he lost bad. He got beat good in the championship game to Clemson last year. So there will be a little bit there. And he lost to NC State. I think he's lost to NC State 2 years in a row. So, I mean, and then, of course, Duke is the game. That's the rival game. And I'm telling you right now, of the 3, Duke scares me the most. If that quarterback gets back, and he's
Riley
healthy,
Leonard,
he's 100%. If he gets back healthy, and was playing like he was before he hurt his ankle. That's another one of those dang high ankle sprains. But if he gets back, that one scares me. Now, it is in Chapel Hill, but I think Duke's pretty damn good, and they're really good on defense.
And UNC's crowd, I think, has gotten some grief. They were fired up when Miami came to town. I thought they looked really
got into it.
Great atmosphere, and they showed up for that team, and they'll need that against Duke, and they'll need that, of course, if they make the ACC championship.
I think they'll be there the rest of the way. When you go to Chapel Hill to play, I think it's Keeneland Stadium. When you go there to play, they're going to be ready. Those fans are excited right now, and it's 50,000, I think it is, and it's kind of close. It's enclosed close, and the stadium goes up. I've coached there and played there before, and both. And that when it's full loud, it's a tough place to play, and it's a gorgeous atmosphere over there. It's just a beautiful place. But no, Mac's sitting about as pretty as you could be. The schedule's fallen really good for him. Everybody he's played, he caught them at a good time. I mean, everything's just worked really good, and now he's got, if he just can stay healthy and just win the games he should, and I think he will. I just too much talent to lose any of the next three. And then button up your chin strap and get ready to play 3 times in a row, because he's going to be undefeated, guys, and all 3 of them are going to be after his hide.
Yeah.
So they're going to come in the underdogs, and they're going to be after their hide now, I'm telling you.
Watson, thank you for doing this. We'll talk again Monday when we look ahead to where the Titans are headed, good, bad, or indifferent. See you Monday.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Thanks, guys. Enjoyed it.
Have a good one. Thank you.
See ya.
Coach Watson Brown joining us to talk some college football. After the break, plaster bets of the day. There are 7 of them. I'm feeling a little cocky. Stay tuned.
Family owned and operated for more than 2 decades, Alaco Fine Wood Floors is Nashville and Middle Tennessee's choice for premium quality hardwood floors. Since 1995, Jimmy Alaco and his army of employees have embodied the approach of taking pride in one's craft and providing superior customer service, growing from a one-man shop to a team of 23 professionals who share the founder's passion for quality craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. If you are interested in contacting them, you can find their headquarters at 2505 Winford Avenue in Berry Hill, or give them a call at 615-356-0303. Again, that's 615-356-0303, or log on to alacofinewoodfloors.com. Alaco Fine Wood Floors, serving Middle Tennessee's hardwood flooring needs since 1995.
Forget the fact that Sir Speedy Music City is owned by my BGA classmate James Warren. Their work stands on its own merit. James and his staff do incredible work, as evidenced by the huge banners at the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. If you're looking for quality to help your marketing and business communications, and you want it at a reasonable price, these are your folks. Call them at 615-832-9511 or go to print at sirspeedymusiccity.com. And be sure to tell them Plaz sent you.
Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormone deficiencies and imbalances. And Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and wife Daphne, along with their experienced staff, give men the treatment required to improve their quality of life, improve your immune system, energy level, cognitive function, and more. There's no better time to achieve a healthy lifestyle. What are you waiting for? Give Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment at 615-486-3458 or visit the website coolspringsmd.com.
For over 35 years, Wilson Bank & Trust has been committed to providing customized banking solutions to help individuals, families, and businesses in Tennessee achieve their goals. As your full-service community bank, we are proud to offer loans with competitive rates, local decision-making, and fast, friendly service from our experienced lenders. No matter where you are on your financial journey, Wilson Bank & Trust is ready to help you take the next step. Visit your nearest Wilson Bank & Trust office or online at wilsonbank.com to get started today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, I'm here with my buddy Chip Ward from Lincoln Home Loans. And Chip, it's football season. And it's also, it feels like it's moving season every time of the year, especially here in Nashville. Tell us about your business, Chip, and kind of introduce people to who you are and what you do here in the Nashville area.
Well, you're exactly right, Billy. It is definitely moving season, as it is most times, especially right here after Labor Day. Kids are back in school and people are starting to think they want to get settled in before the holidays. And so what we are doing is right now we are getting a lot of people pre-approved for home loans. Inventory has ticked up a little bit. You know, it has been down, but it's rebounding a little bit. And right now is a good time to buy.
Chip, real quick before I let you go, tell people how they can reach you. And if someone is interested in your business, how would they reach out to you?
Well, sure. At Lincoln Home Loans, you can reach me at 615-500-7579. My URL for my application page is chipward.net, and my email address is simply chip@chipward.net. And so I'd love to hear from anybody. I can answer any questions about the whole home buying and financing process.
Final segment on a Friday, broadcasting live from the beautiful Lenny Acuff, or I'm guessing, is it Lenny? It says Acuff Chapel.
You know, it is not Lenny Acuff, although I played in a golf tournament with Lenny earlier today, so I know he'd appreciate having himself
named after this.
Yeah, he's only been here 3 years, but according to you, he already has a chapel named after him. That's real impact.
It is the Acuff Chapel. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and we're happy that we've been able to broadcast here. But, George, we'll close it out with Plaster's Bet of the Day, brought to you by Bart Durham Injury Law. Give them a call, 615-242-9000, or log on to bartdurham.com. Let's check out what happened last night. And what, did you have 3 plays?
Sure did. Went Jags, 2-1.
The Jags pulled it out. They had to stave off the Saints late in that game, but Marshall ended up losing big time. And in a scary
they really
situation.
Were not. Yeah, what
happened at the end?
Anything...
I haven't seen an update, but man, you hate seeing that.
Yeah,
Marshall's quarterback. It's like he just couldn't get rid of the ball, and he was getting pressured every play.
Fancher.
Yeah, but Rice got a win. Was it Tulsa?
Pummeled Tulsa.
Yeah, they sure did.
Tulsa is bad.
But JMU, similar to Liberty, is right up there with some Power 5 schools, I think.
They have really made the transition from things like 1AA now into Division I, and they continue to win, and I don't think it's an accident.
No.
When I've seen them, I don't know, 3 or 4 times this year. They're pretty
really good. Kelly, he saw them down there at Troy. And is it right? They're ineligible for a bowl game?
Yeah, and it's a stupid rule that the NCAA has that when you move up a classification, you have to wait 4 years.
That's ridiculous.
For what? I have no idea. Nobody else understands it.
I heard it's because they don't want people to keep moving up and down.
Well,
but I don't understand. I mean,
you're
4 years?
You're punishing kids for something they don't deserve.
No, that's awful.
So I have 7 plays. This may end up sounding like War and Peace, but here goes. I'm going to start in Columbus, Ohio, where I'm taking the Buckeyes. And you say, why am I taking Ohio State? I think there's some mental baggage on the Penn State side. Ohio State has owned them, and in particular in Columbus. So they've got some mental stuff they got to get through to get the win. Is Penn State good enough? Yeah, I think they are. But do I think it's going to happen? I don't. I think it's a really good game, but I think Ohio State wins it something in the neighborhood of 27-20, 24-17. Tough Big Ten battle. but the home team, in this case Ohio State, pulls out the win. I like a lot of home teams this weekend. You'll notice that. West Virginia has been one of the real pleasant surprises in 2023, and they're playing an Oklahoma State team that frankly is not as good as what Mike Gundy has been used to putting out there.
They got pummeled by South Alabama at home.
They sure did. West Virginia at home gets this win on their way to a bowl bid and on the way to saving Neil Brown's job.
Boy, has his tenure been up and down.
Yeah.
Coming off that loss to Houston last week.
Now to the third game. Iowa. They don't score a lick. The over-under in this
30
game.
30.5 right now I saw.
It's the lowest over-under
history
that I have seen in years.
And a lot of people are taking the under.
Oh, yeah, because neither one of them score. Iowa has done just enough to win. They've only lost once this year. Minnesota, they keep talking about rowing the boat, but the truth of it is they're taking on more and more water. They're not very good. PJ Fleck can row that boat all he wants. Iowa covers minus the 3.5. You like that?
Taking some water.
Take on some water. Now, let's get to two more college games. Kansas State, this is a battle of teams that wear purple.
This was the Big 12 title last year.
Yes, but things have changed considerably.
Yeah.
Kansas State is still really good. TCU is not. TCU is a team that has probably tumbled as far as anybody from one year to the next. The game is in Manhattan, Kansas. Kansas State's just flat out going to win, and they're going to win by more than a touchdown.
Yeah, TCU is totally different than what they were last
it's
year.
not anything close. Now, the last game is a gut shot.
Big-time gut shot.
It's a big-time gut shot. Miami's crowd gets up for it once or twice a year. Normally,
That's true.
It's Florida State if the Seminoles are on their home schedule.
Yeah.
This year, Clemson is, and I think you'll see a more lively, performance out of the stands. I think they will actually help Miami. Miami's hacked off. 2 weeks ago, Georgia Tech got them with stupidity in coaching. Last week, Carolina bludgeoned them in the second half. They didn't know what hit them. Miami bounces back, and they win at home against Clemson, who, by the way, isn't anywhere near the Clemson you're used to seeing. Am I detecting that you agree with some of these?
I agree with most of these. I mean,
do you?
I like K-State at home, and TCU hasn't impressed me. Miami is close. I do think you're right about they get one, lively home crowd a year. I agree with that.
And this will be it.
I think this will be it. Ohio State, I like that just because of the mental hurdle. I think it's really hard when you haven't beaten a team in as long as Penn State has. I know Franklin has beaten them before, but it was kind of not fluky, but they had was it the blocked field goal at home and the whiteout?
Yeah,
they're in Columbus in the shoe, and I just think Ohio State wins that. Neil Brown, West Virginia. Oklahoma State's just bad. I mean, they're not a very good football team. Iowa, Minnesota. Who in the world knows? I mean,
final score 5-2.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that. But yeah, I like most of these.
Okay, let's go to the pros. And everybody has jumped all over Miami. Miami's scoring points like it's going out of style. Nobody in the NFL is scoring the way Miami is. And they have beat up on the Sisters of the Poor. But 2 weeks ago, for me, the warning clouds, the storm clouds were out. Big game at Buffalo, they got trounced.
Mm-hmm.
Philly, no real weaknesses. They really don't have a lot. You have to say, well, they're not very good at. Philly's good at everything.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown will have a huge game. Philly at home will get it done. and that crowd will feel a lot like a Phillies playoff game. They will get after it.
And they're wearing their Kelly green uniforms, and because of that, give me Philly.
Yeah. By the way, it's a better looking uniform.
All of the most of the throwbacks are way better looking than what they've got now.
Okay, final game. Cleveland on the road. This is the one road team that I've picked in these 7. Cleveland is just better than Indy, period. Cleveland has a great front 4. Myles Garrett is one of the top 3 or 4 pass rushing specialists in the NFL, and he will wreak havoc. Now, the Colts have a better shot because it's Garner Minshew than they would have with Richardson, just simply the experience. But Minshew is going to be under the gun. Their pass rush is going to make life very difficult.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if Cleveland gets a defensive score in this game, and ultimately that will be the difference in a victory in Indy against the Colts. By the way, I wonder if there's any feelings there about the fact that the Browns, their team left, and where'd they go?
What do you mean?
Where did the Browns go? They went to Baltimore. Well, Baltimore once had the Colts.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's a little something there.
Maybe there's something, but George, I might start riding with some of these picks now that
You've seen how good I am.
There's a proof of concept here. I mean, last year there was no consistency. I mean, I think you can admit that. This year, though,
but Billy, anytime you're over 500, you're doing well.
No, I know. I'm talking about this year.
Yeah,
There's been some consistency.
I'm killing it.
And so I'm thinking about really riding these. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me.
All of you, listen very closely to that sheet of paper. It will make you a lot of money. Okay, we're done for the week. We have had a terrific week on the show with all of the Titans talk and the Tennessee-Alabama game, which has so much anticipation. I want to thank the entire crew at Lipscomb Academy. Amanda, thank you very much for all of the help, because this all got put together in less than 72 hours, and there are a lot of moving parts. Getting a coach and his schedule to work, getting students and their schedules to work, getting a facility, and show it again if you can. It is this Acuff Hall is beautiful, and it's got so much of a Ryman Auditorium feel. We were really blessed to be here. So thanks to the entire staff at Lipscomb Academy. They play Brentwood Academy tonight at 7 o'clock. If you want to see some kids that are going to end up on the D1 level, this is a game you might ought to come watch. But whatever the case, pick out a high school game tonight. The weather is going to be very good because, lo and behold, these are your college stars of the future. For Billy Derrick, and let's see, Coach Kevin Mawai, Coach Watson Brown, a cast of thousands. George Plaster, have a great weekend. Wherever you're going, drive safely.